What's up, guys? It's Gothic, aka Sam, and today we are continuing on our Asagao Academy journey, and let us continue the Jared route. Swallowing, I tried to get Jared's attention from across the table. I had to talk to him. Hey, Jared?
We were passing out cupcakes with Paul's face on them for hours. You'd figure cupcakes would be something people wanted. It's free sugar. Why would you eat something with a guy's mug on it? I'm insulted. Good, it was an insult. He couldn't hear me over the conversation. I picked up my food, barely able to eat any of it. My mouth was too dry. I hated conflict. How on earth could I have disappointed Jared? Jared got up to dump his tray, and I sprang to my feet after him. Love birds. Everyone laughed as I, blood rushing to my face, fell into step alongside Jared. Nice of you to join me.
I need to talk to you.
Stupid stammer. Immediately, Jared became concerned. Yeah, totally. What's wrong?
Can we go somewhere private?
He nodded. After I dumped my tray, we left the cafeteria and went out onto campus. I could breathe a little easier here. The air was clear and the sun gave me life instead of draining it like the fluorescence did. Okay, hit me.
Why would I do that?
He stared at me.
Oh, right. I wanted to talk there.
I swallowed and tried again.
Something bothering.
Are you okay? Jared reached for my shoulder. I took a step back and pointed to his outstretched hand.
There.
What?
That makes me really uncomfortable.
There was a short silence. Jared put his hands into his pockets as my brain caught up to what I just said.
Wait, that came out very wrong.
I glanced at him nervously, but his face was blank. I'd hope so. What were you trying to say?
I don't like it when we're in public. It just makes me uncomfortable.
His eyebrows snapped together for a moment, and then his face went back to neutral. You're not ashamed of me, are you?
What? What? No, of course not. Why would I? I like you, and I'm really proud to be your girlfriend. I'm sorry, I'm not making any sense right now. I'm just making it worse.
I scrunched my eyes together, rubbing them vigorously. I should have gotten more sleep. Jared ran a hand through his perfect hair.
It's just that I'm not used to dating anyone, so I'm kind of scared. And I'm really excited, too. I'm happy I'm dating you, but I'm super nervous. I know you've probably dated a lot of girls, but I don't have that same kind of experience. I don't want to mess this up, and I don't know what's normal. Even though I like it, I'm kind of uncomfortable with kisses and stuff in public. It seems like that should be a private thing for me, for right now. Is that okay?
I was about to start again when I noticed Jared was smiling.
All right.
I understand.
You do?
Of course. Besides, I wasn't thinking about you. I was just happy to be dating you. I forgot that not everyone has as much experience as I do. Not everyone is as touchy as I am either. He raised an eyebrow and I flushed. I wanted you and everyone else to know how I felt about you.
I don't mind that. It's nice. I'm just not used to it. I'm not usually the center of attention, so I'm a little nervous.
We'll give it time. Don't feel bad about it, Hannah. I'm glad you told me too. No matter what, don't change for other people. Even now, I find it admirable.
Admirable? Like a knight?
Sure, something like that, though I'd rather be your knight.
I'd like that. Jared, thank you. I was so nervous about talking to you.
Hannah, you can come to me for anything. I want to be here for you. That's why I want to date you after all.
Jared, you're the best.
You really think? Of course I am. It's almost time for class again. I'll walk you.
Yes, please.
Jared dropped me off at class, and instead of hugging me, he waved goodbye. I felt a little bad, but Jared seemed not to mind at all. As I headed into the classroom, the happiness that I felt at the tea ceremony came flooding back to me. It really was that easy. Jared was a good boyfriend. Whatever that meant.
Oh, shoot.
Yo, what's up?
What's up? It was late at night, past curfew, and Maya and I were working on homework due the next day.
I forgot my math book, and I really don't get how to finish this problem.
Let me see. Maya crept to my desk and leaned over my shoulder. Yeah, good luck.
Ugh, you don't have your book with you?
I do most of my homework while waiting for volleyball practice to start, so no. I sighed. I'm gonna have to go get it. You don't think I'll get in trouble for being out past curfew, do you? Curfew was a surprisingly big deal at Asagao. The academy worked with the 3-strike system. You get 3, you get going. Most offenses weren't a big enough deal to earn you a strike, but for some reason, curfew was. It was probably meant to curb rebellious teenagers and their flighty romances, but honestly, a curfew wasn't going to fix anything. You're going to get a book, so if you get caught, just tell them that. I've heard a few people use that and get away with it.
Okay, I'll be back in 10 minutes or so. You'd better, Avy, or I'm coming after you.
I chuckled and headed out. To be honest, I really didn't like the darkness, especially when no one else was out. I could deal with it if I was expecting other people or had other people around, just like after the tea ceremony, but I hated being out alone. I stepped out into the wet night air. It was significantly colder now. I forgot it was still spring. Summer was a while away. Deep shadows carved into the main campus ground, only illuminated by stray street lamps. Considering most students weren't supposed to be out this late, the lamps were few and far between. Long stretches of darkness, deep darkness, where no one would notice a small girl getting mugged separated me and Poppy Hall. Be brave, Hana. Yeah, this was just a weird vestige. This game increases my grammar, man. Vestige of being raised as a girl.
In reality, I could handle anything that came my way.
Provided it weighed less than me and was shorter than 5'2". Crap. I sped walk across the campus paths. Wind blew through the trees across the lawn, through the crevices of buildings, creating a sound somewhere between whistling and moaning. The moon wasn't giving much light tonight either. The clouds guarded it like jealous lovers. Oh, thank goodness. I finally made it to the doors of Poppy Hall and crept inside, heart hammering with relief. I quickly and quietly climbed the stairs to the 3rd floor and fumbled past the lockers. It was so much harder to find mine when it was pitch black in the building. Wait. My heart leaped into my throat and I squinted into the darkness, hoping I wasn't seeing what I thought I was. A sliver of light peeked underneath the door at the end of the hall. Adrenaline pumped through my veins, giving a pleasant floating feeling, but also making me feel kind of sick. The thing was, though, I didn't think that door led to a teacher's office. It looked like one of the smaller classrooms. A quiet curiosity seized me. Sure, it might be a teacher and I might get in trouble, but what if it wasn't? Surely it wouldn't hurt to just creep past and see if I could find anything out, right? We didn't have cults at this school, did we? I quickly opened my locker, got my book out, and tucked it under my arm. No harm in just checking on my way out. I shuffled to the door, careful not to put too much weight behind my steps. As I came closer, I heard the soft murmuring of voices. I'll hold his arms and then we'll slice open his stomach. No, we need to go after his girlfriend. Once she's out of the way, her dad'll pay so much. We'll get caught immediately if we do that. I think we should just go tuck him out of the way and not kill him ourselves so we can't get charged. They were going to kill someone? In a surge of bravery, I thrust the door open. Yes! Playing D&D! Oh, it's my favorite thing ever. Jared, Caddy, Luke, Ian, and Jeff sat around an arrangement of desks in the center of the room. On top of the makeshift table was a giant grid with odd lines and tiny figurines sitting on top. Jared was dressed in a wizard uniform and hovering over a crystal ball that had some kind of dice in its center. They all stared at me in shock. What are... Hana! What are you doing here? Hana, this isn't what it looks like. We were just, Quick, grab her and lock the door! Ian and Jeff rushed at me. I dodged to the left and the two collapsed in a heap on the ground. Get her, faster! Come back here, I've got a buster sword.
Oh yeah.
I'll destroy you with my Nyan Cat powers. Youngtown is Nyan Cat is my favorite thing. I really wonder if he ever let Heidi make that cosplay for him. Because if he did, I want to watch. Because it's so fucking cute. Anyway. Screaming in terror, I jumped to the side, and over Jeff and Ian's collapsed bodies, the door stood wide open for my escape. Hana! I bolted around the corner and down the stairs. Thankfully, they were entangled in a room that was barely big enough to fit them, so it took them a while to come after me. By the time I made it to the 1st floor of Poppy Hall, heavy feet slammed behind me. Hana! Oh god, oh god. I burst into the damp night air and ran. I didn't know where I was heading, I just ran. I heard the yells of several boys behind me, shouts of, "Where is she?" bouncing off the walls in the school buildings. Glancing over my shoulder, I saw them splitting off into groups, each heading in different directions. There! All at once, a cascade of stomping. They were after me. I ran down the hill that led to the soccer field and sprinted across the ground, his lungs burning. Can't breathe. Out of nowhere, a solitary figure appeared in front of me. I lunged to the side to avoid it, but it didn't seem to notice as I passed. I glanced behind me at it. PBG was standing in the middle of the field, staring out in the night sky, his arms wide above his head. What in the hell? In that moment, my foot caught on something and I plunged to the ground. No! Jared materialized behind me. I got to my feet again and started running, but it was no use. He grunted, and then something rammed into my back. Jared tackled me. I collapsed onto the ground. We skid a few inches across the dewy grass before coming to a complete stop. I groaned and rolled over. My back and elbows were on fire. Oh no. Jared was gasping just as hard as I was. As he perched on top of me, I silently made a wish that no one could find us like this. There was no way to explain what was happening here. Please don't tell. Don't tell anyone what we were doing. I don't even really know what you were doing. You just ran at me like a bunch of maniacs. D&D. We were playing D&D. You... What? You can't tell anyone. Seriously, I'm begging you, Hannah. If you tell, I'll be ruined. Completely ruined. Please, promise me. I don't even understand. Promise me. I promise. Thank God. That was when then I was wrapped up in his arms, his head resting on my shoulder. Oh dear, this was definitely a compromising position. Jared, could you... Sorry. He released me and then rolled over, freeing me from his weight. But, can I ask you why you don't want anyone to know? I just don't want people to know. I'm breaking the rules by being out late, and so many people see me as a role model. It'd be terrible to let them down. I have an image to uphold, you know? I don't want to lead the student body into chaos. It was somewhat reasonable, but it didn't explain all of his sheer panic. Still, if Jared didn't want to tell me, I wasn't going to press him. We'd only just started dating. It wasn't my business what he did with his time, and he didn't have to tell me things if he didn't think he could trust me yet. Although the thought sat heavy on my shoulders, it made sense. I wanted to argue with it, but there was no point. Jared turned to me with a smile, now fully recovered. You dropped this too. He held up my math book, now wrinkled from sitting in the wet grass of the soccer field. Oh! That could have been a terrible accident, eh? We didn't think anyone would see us. At least it was you and not someone else. I nodded. That sounded more like the Jared I knew. Anyway, we should get back in. Two teenagers in a relationship out in the middle of a field in the night would be hard to explain, even with the book. I chuckled instead, my knees protesting. I would definitely be sore tomorrow. I hope you're not hurt. It's alright, I'm fine. He ran a hand through his hair. Smooth, eh? Man, the guy should see me now. Anyway, let's go. I'll walk you back. We walked to Primrose in silence, each of us wrapped in our own thoughts. It was clear Jared didn't want to talk about it anymore. The issue wasn't closed, but it was definitely time to pull away and rethink what was happening. I headed into the dorm just as Jared waved at me from behind. Once I was safely in the stairwell, he turned away, but he didn't start walking back. I should just leave him alone. I climbed the stairs to my floor, desperately happy that I didn't run into anyone else on the way to my room. By the time I got home, it had been a full hour. I crept into the room, hoping beyond hope that Mai had gone to sleep by now. Anna. But of course not. Thank goodness you're back. Mai swept me up in a swift hug. When she finally released me, I closed the door and smiled. Sorry about that. I had some trouble on the way there. I was a terrible liar, so I tried to stick as close to the truth as possible. Mai's eyes flashed. Trouble? Look at you. You're a complete mess. I looked down. Grass and dirt stained my skirt. I wouldn't be surprised if it was on my blazer and in my hair, too. Crap.
What the hell?
Who hurt you?
No, it was nothing like that. I just ran into someone and we stopped to talk for a bit.
Did you literally run into them? Otherwise... There was no way I was going to be able to worm my way out of this, but I couldn't tell Mai what I saw. My mind raced. I couldn't think of someone I could have seen that wouldn't blow up in my face like the... Hold on. I couldn't think of someone I could have seen that wouldn't blow up in my face down the line. There we go. I couldn't say I'd seen one of the normal boots guys because Mai would probably mention it to them, and I couldn't reveal anyone in the D&D group. Jared? She turned away from me, climbed to the top of her bed, and grabbed a stuffed bear. Tell me, were you guys on a date? Was he trying to seduce you? Don't tell me you guys. No, oh good heavens, no. I couldn't tell Mai, could I? She seemed trustworthy after all. I couldn't imagine she'd tell anyone, but that didn't mean she wouldn't. Jared playing D&D didn't seem like a big deal to me, but he obviously thought it was. Chicks before dicks, Hannah. Crap. Where did my loyalty lie? Okay. I am going to not tell Mai what happened, but I'm going to tell her that I made a promise, because she can respect that. Mai was my best friend. She deserved the truth, but Jared was my boyfriend, and I made a promise to him. Shouldn't I keep it? As I looked on her bed, at Mai on her bed, eyes shining, I couldn't leave her hanging. I can't tell you. Her face fell. I really wish I could, but I promised Jared I wouldn't. There's something he doesn't want anyone to find out. I wasn't even supposed to figure it out, but it was an accident, so... Mai held up her hand.
Really?
Stop talking. You're only making me more curious. She gazed at the ceiling. I guess it's okay that you can't tell me. At least I know you're trustworthy, right? She gave a half-hearted chuckle, but I could tell it was bothering her. This is why I hate promises. I don't see why people have to be secret. And sometimes it's important to tell other people. Hana, stop talking. I'm going to go to bed and try to stop thinking about this. Promise me one thing, though. Not another promise. Promise me that Jared's okay, and if he's ever not okay, you'll tell me what's going on. Promise me? Of course, he's completely fine. It's not that big a deal. It's rather... Her eyes narrowed. I swallowed. I promise. Thank you. Well, I'm going to sleep. Me too. Good night.
Night.
Night. Feeling terrible, I changed into my pajamas. Did I make the right decision? I was my friend, my best friend. She deserved the truth and honesty from me at all times. But I made a promise to someone I cared about, my boyfriend. Do boyfriends deserve more loyalty than friends? I was there before. To be realistic, it was likely she'd be there after, if there was an after. An uneasy feeling sat in my stomach, but as I drifted to sleep, I began to wonder where there was even a right answer to be had. After that night things seemed to improve with Jared. It was as if my discovery of his secret love for D&D cemented some kind of decision or inner turmoil of his. He relaxed around me, and this odd, stilted speech almost disappeared. Don't worry, ladies. There's hope for each and every one of you to find your truest loves. They can't all be me.
Oh, Jared.
Mostly. He still spoke that way around the other people, especially around other girls, but at least with me he spoke like a normal person. Part of me wanted to ask why, but after that night I decided it was much better not to ask questions. I felt like almost even asking the question would be majorly distressing to him. To be honest, he was confusing. I didn't know who he really was, but he still treated me well, and I liked hanging around him. I progressed past the point of a crush and would now talk with him as if he were a normal person. That was how I ended up here in the first place, having an amiable midday picnic with several girls from my class. Apparently it was best to share him. Jared, what is your favorite? Kakusu stopped mid-sentence and emitted an odd beeping noise. TV series. Kakusu, I told you to have to stop making that noise. I formally apologize. My favorite TV show, That would have to be Flame of Bones, of course. Ah, good choice, good choice. Indeed, what a classic piece of contemporary visual and literary mediums. Hana, what's your favorite TV series? What was my favorite TV series? When I thought of it, only one series came to mind. Something from a long time ago, back when I was still young. I would go over to my best friend's house and we would watch an anime about an average high school girl who could transform and save the world. We'd play around and be characters from the show. On the playground, I'd be the hero and he'd be the mysterious masked savior, Sailor Moon. Other kids would always tease us because, well, we were watching anime. After that, I kept my favorite show to myself. I almost forgotten about it. Surely now that we were much older, it wouldn't be a problem. I wasn't going to lie in any case. Sailor Sun. Lols. Lols.
My favorite show is Sailor Sun.
I blushed and laughed self-consciously.
I know it's not really the coolest thing, but...
I glanced at Mimi, who was looking at me doubtfully. Kakusu looked as if she was going through her databases trying to find a history of the show. Oh, wow. Anime. Really? I mean, wow. So you both like that kind of thing? She looked doubtfully at Jared. I suspected she wanted some confirmation from him. If he thought it was okay, then it was okay. I relaxed, pleased to be off the hook. No. What? Me? Of course not. I stared at Jared in shock. He was very intentionally not looking at me. Yeah, man, I'm not about that weeby shit. People who like that kind of thing are weird. What the hell, Jared? Jeez, Hannah, don't get mad at Jared. He was just being honest about his opinion. Verified. We looked at Kakusu. I was unsure whether she was contributing to the conversation or where she finally finished adding Sailor Sun to her databases. I would never watch shows like that, Jared. I love Flame of Bones. I watch it live even. You want, we could watch it together sometime. Jared looked nervously from Mimi to me. That's okay. I think I'll pass. I'm very busy with school and everything. Oh, that's too bad. I grit my teeth. The conversation continued without me, Jared getting more and more flowery as time passed. All the while, I tried to console myself. This was just a small thing, just a few sentences. It was just a conversation. But at the same time, it wasn't. I was, in my own way, asking for support. And Jared didn't give it to me. No, he left me completely hanging. If someone asked him about D&D, would he have lied too? Or would he have stood up for himself? I would have stood up for him. So did he lie like this all the time? And would he always throw me under the bus when it came down to it? And that's where we're going to end this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you see, please leave a like, comment down below, and I will see you in the next video. Yeah.